I'd like to specifically talk about border security and our border wall. Between April 2019 and April 2020, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers awarded some $3.6 billion in contracts for border wall construction. Specifically, for fiscal year 2021, Congress, in a bipartisan manner by this committee, appropriated $1.375 billion for border wall construction. My first question to you, General Spellman, is for the border wall, how much of that $1.375 billion that was appropriated for fiscal year 2021 has the Department of Homeland Security obligated to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to award contracts for border wall construction?
Sir, I don't have that figure with me, but I can get that to you by the end of the day.
I would appreciate getting that figure. General, do you know how much of that $1.375 billion has been awarded for border wall construction contracts?
Of the DHS appropriation, sir? Specifically, no, sir. I can get that to you, all those figures for you.
Well, if we could go to the $4.5 billion that was appropriated between fiscal years 2017 and 2020, how much of that $4.5 billion during that span has been either paused or canceled?
Hey, sir, if I can just, sir, let me take it from the top. So the total appropriation for border wall construction had been on the order of $15 billion. So, sir, this was the DHS appropriation, which you specifically asked about, but it was also counter-drug funding and then also deferred MILCON funding. Sir, we built on the order of 455 miles with those funds. $2 billion, a little bit more than $2 billion has been returned to the Department of Defense. These were MILCON funds, sir, that were not going to be used on four projects. The remainder of those dollars will be used for termination costs. We have 20 contracts that we've terminated for the government's convenience, and we're in negotiations now with each of those 20 vendors to work through what those final bills will be.
In general, what are the grounds for the termination of those contracts?
So, sir, a termination for convenience clause is a standard clause in each of the government's contracts. And so the guidance that we received from the administration, as you said, was to immediately pause work for a 60-day period while the administration considered its next steps. And so we are now, as I said, in the negotiation phase with each one of those vendors.
So to be clear, the administration told you to pause or suspend. Can you give me the exact direction that you received?
Sir, we paused all of that work. We made safe each of those construction sites down on the border. So what I mean by that is we marked trenches where we had potential for people to fall. We blocked mountain roads that were designed for construction. We wanted to make sure that the public did not have access up there. We braced and secured a lot of steel that we had pre-positioned along the border for eventual placement.
So the funds that this committee, on a bipartisan basis, has appropriated have now been paused based on the direction that you received from the White House?
So we're paused, and then the new direction from the administration, and now, as I said, we're going through a termination for convenience for each of those 20 contracts, and as I said, each one of those is a separate negotiation with the contractor. So
the decision to slow down, freeze, and otherwise not proceed has been made based on guidance from the White House?
This is the guidance that we received from the administration, yes, sir, for in my case through DOD and the Army.
Well, I'll underscore the fact that this committee on a bipartisan basis has allocated these funds for a specific purpose. And I'm very concerned about following the rule of law and the possible impoundment of these funds, which I think you know would be a great concern to me and every member of this committee. I appreciate you getting back to me with the information on the expenditures that you described, and I'll yield back the rest of my time. Thank you.